7.5 billion people live on this planet, and 1 billion people go to bed hungry every single night. 2.1 billion people live in a state of micronutrient deficiency. Kids like me grow up eating cinnamon rolls and nachos and cheese. We have accelerations of type 2 diabetes and obesity. And if I had to summarize it in one thing that resonates with me, it's that I believe that eating well should be a basic right. So we started this company just to try to fix it, to try to make eating well a basic right. And our big idea is that it's not that the biggest companies in the world don't care, it's that the biggest companies in the world don't have the tools to do anything about it. We have soy and corn and processed sugar and conventional animal protein. A lot of this stuff, my cinnamon rolls and nacho and cheese and Burger King chicken sandwich were made out of. And it is really hard, if you just have that stuff, to make food that is healthier, food that is sustainable, food that tastes really good, and food that's accessible. So the whole plant kingdom out there is exciting and interesting, but it's also pretty complex. There are 357,000 species of plants all over the world. And it turns out far less than 1% of them have been used for how they can make food better. And the best example of that is this little mung bean. We didn't invent the mung bean. The mung bean has been in the world food system for 4,400 years. But we found a certain varietal that we process in a certain way that can make butter that is luscious and creamy and tasty, that uses less land and less water out of plants. And probably coolest of all, we found that the mung bean actually scrambles like an egg. Here's what it looks like.
It's kind of funny that the mung bean, which has been in the culinary world for thousands of years, has this incredible new property that we're just discovering right now. It contains this amazing protein that can scramble like an egg. Every time I watch it cook like that, I'm completely amazed. Like, it shouldn't exist, but it's there.
It's understanding the power of that plant and being able to utilize it in a way from a chef standpoint that makes sense. This thing works, and it's delicious.
No way.
It needs no seasoning. I'm still good.
No way.
That's incredible.
Are you kidding? It's not egg?
No.
The challenge of doing something no one's ever done before, there's nothing like it. I look at the way the world works, and I maybe I look at it differently and think that we can make it better. We can make it more sustainable. We can make it less cruel. We can make it taste better. We don't have to do things the way we've done them before. We can make it not just better for you, but better for the world, and I think that's the important aspect.
Now, in the world of meat, $1.1 trillion worth of meat is eaten every single year. Today, the idea of eating meat and eating animal is one and the same. Tomorrow, I think those two ideas will be separated. We can eat meat, we can eat all the meat that we want, but it won't require the slaughter or the confinement of an animal. It'll just require a few cells whose nutrients we can feed to them from some of the plants that we're looking at. And with that, we can make meat in new and better and safer ways. We can make meat that works for the biggest meat companies in the world. We can make meat for people who have never had meat before. Our process for doing that is the same way that we look at plants for something that scrambles like an egg. We look at plants that have nutrients to enable these cells to grow. And one day, if we do what we need to do, and the biggest meat companies join us in this, and we're talking to many of them today, who are not obsessed, these meat companies, with the idea of slaughtering an animal. They're obsessed with selling animal protein more efficiently. And if we can give them a better way to do it, we can build farms like this, you see on the right, that are more efficient, that are safer, that provide tastier, better meats to the world.